My people, Nigeria know the ever door. Governor Fubara has just resumed office. Wahala do. Wike is now warning President Tinubu to respect the rule of law. And across ocean, Kimmel has just been suspended after clashing with Charles. At the first glance, it look like three different stories. But no, this one are the same global struggle. Power versus truth. Law versus politics. And freedom versus leadership. Let's dive in. Fire to fire.
To you viewers, let's begin what's trending in Rivers State, where thousands of people faced disappointment on Thursday as Governor Fubara failed to resume office despite President Bola Ahmed Tinubu lifting the 6-month emergency rule, directing him to return to work. Thousands of supporters gathered at the government house in Port Harcourt from as early as 6 a.m. To about, I believe, noon, and they were hoping that the governor will be back to the office, but by late afternoon, neither Fubara nor his deputy, Professor Ngozi Odu, had appeared. Let's take a look. But yesterday, efforts by the champion who wrote, "Interesting twist. The assembly is back, but the governor is missing. If Fubara stays silent much longer, it will only fuel more rumors about what deal was struck behind closed doors." And then another Twitter user wrote, "Where is Fubara? We expected him to at least give State House some time ago. Is he not still interested?" Fubara missing out on a big occasion and disappointed his supporters as usual. And of course, this Twitter user went on to say that they're happy that the governor didn't show up yesterday. Let everyone go home. Fake supporters. When he was illegally removed, the so-called supporters didn't say a word. They mostly moved on with their lives as usual. Let them all go home. Fubara will resume without fanfare. Well, we know that the Rivers State House of Assembly has since reconvened and passed a motion to probe financial transactions during the emergency administration. They've also asked the governor to forward lists of commissioner nominees and commence work on an appropriation law. Meanwhile, FCT Minister Wike said on live television on Thursday that he drove to Governor Fubara's house at 1 a.m. to discuss the Rivers State local government elections. Wike insisted that no decision was taken without Fubara's input during the emergency rule period. He added that Fubara had earlier informed him that he wouldn't be available on election day due to a family commitment involving his son, and accused critics of making false claims about the Rivers political crisis. I mean, this was an interview he granted yesterday on Channel, and people were asking that what really is going on here? You drove to the governor's house at 1 a.m. In what capacity? What are you what exactly are you doing? But let me take this story, and hopefully we'll have that video and we'll play both. Well, in the meantime, during the flag-off ceremony of a road project in Abuja, Wike criticized individuals who disrespect President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, saying that they are fortunate that he respects the rule of law. His remarks came after activist Omoyele Sowore called President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a criminal on X, which led to the Department of State Services filing charges against Sowore. Let's take a look.
This is a country where somebody who was will say Mr. President is a criminal. Nothing will happen. Nothing. You say all kinds of things you want to say, nothing will happen. No matter how you see people criticize Trump, have you ever seen any American citizen on the social media, on the public, say, look, our president is a criminal? Have you ever had that? But yeah, anybody can wake up in the morning and abuse president, and we're happy. You are lucky you have a president that believes in the rule of law. You are lucky. continue to be lucky. There are those you will meet, and you won't be lucky again.
All right, this is a big conversation, but let us now play the video where Wike said that he drove to Governor Sim Fubara's house around 1 a.m. to have a conversation about the Rivers LG election.
The Minister of FCT, the former governor of Rivers State, 1 a.m., drove to the governor's house. Sat down. Yes, what do we do? He said, look, that's okay. We'll go by that. There was nothing that was done that the governor was not a party to it. You see, even before the election, the governor traveled. He told me he will not be around. See, because my son had this engagement at Jesu. The people just sit somewhere, begin to talk all kinds of things. They don't even know, simply because, all they were expecting is, they've not settled. Unfortunately, we are settled. Unfortunately, that gas turbine is no longer there. Where people will be collecting money is no longer there. There's no law that said you must resume work today. For example, this is a governor. I don't understand the way we operate. Okay? I was sworn in today, for example. Does not mean I'll go to office tomorrow.
About free speech in the United States, Jimmy Kimmel's show, which was suspended by ABC after he accused supporters of Donald Trump's MAGA gang of trying to politicize Charlie Kirk's death and attempting to portray the alleged killer as someone other than one of them, has sparked a broader debate about free speech and government pressure on the media. His remarks were deemed offensive and insensitive by the ABC, and so they announced that the show will be preempted indefinitely.
We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
All right, critics have...
Fubara resumption. Governor Fubara is back after week of political tension and whispering of impeachment, blood, and the men walk into office like in still here. I give him respect. It takes guilt, and he show face when the political cabal is waving, shaking, waving nails behind your back. But here is the counter. Nigeria are tired of governors being robbers. We do not need another puppet in Rivers State. If Fubara is serious, let him stop behaving like somebody errand boy and actually fighting for his people. Because guess what? Power is not just about occupying office. It is about standing tall when the godfathers tries to drag you down. And river people are watching. Now Wike, chill. This man sabi scatter table when it comes to power. And he told Tinubu boldly that respect the rule of law. He is saying the truth. Without rule of law, democracy dies and Nigeria becomes nothing but one-man rule. But let's make it. Let us not be deceived. Let us not deceive ourselves. Like Wike has ignored or have ignored court order. Wike has been ignored court order when it favor him. If Tinubu ignores the law today, tomorrow you and I may lost our right and nobody will defend us. So I ask you, is Wike trying to defend democracy or is just about playing his own political games, and you think he entertains people like Kimmel, like he entertains people like Kimmel deserve it? No. Let's know that Wike is just trying to favor himself. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section.